Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello friends, I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes,
On Wrestling Ham.
that's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello friends, I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes,
On Wrestling Ham.
that's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello friends, I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm your Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes,
On Wrestling Ham.
that's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production.
The show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. Get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. AwesomeCast 691 geeky episodes. Oh, we might have. We're going to turn the dial over here soon, aren't we? Oh, it's going to be the AwesomeCast 700 Club very soon.
Ooh.
Did I mess up the numbers? No, this has to be right. Anyways, I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with you here this week. And then I got with me on the line the Dutters, the photographer, social media, all things in between. Data nerd, as you say on your profiles. KatieDews.com. KatieDews.com for all the cool stuff that you're into. Katie, it's just the two of us today.
Uh-oh.
Although I did appreciate, because we have a new document that I've been working on, sheets. I reformatted some things, stole some ideas from other better podcasts actually. So, but as you do, right? But you were anonymous Chinchilla, which was hilarious, and Chilla can make it. So
I'm both.
Yes, you're both. Yes, you're just going to fill both lines. So you need to give me your typical thing, and then you need to give me something like really hardcore, like VR gaming, something that, something really. Give me some hard tech today, along with the usual Dutters flavor.
Yes. Oh, we could talk. We could talk about how Godzilla is going to end up in the Marvel universe here.
What?
I think it is. I will find that thing and I will send it to you.
Okay, research that. In the meantime, I'm going to thank you because I remembered I was trying to figure out my awesome thing of the week, and I realized that I had a really bad night last night. Okay, I had in my backpack was my MacBook, and at some point I was climbing the steps, going up to bed, going to bring the lap. Usually on Mondays, I bring my laptop with me to bed. I sit down, watch the wrestling for the night, and that's usually when I'm doing a lot of my kind of scheduling for social media videos and for IndieWrestling.us and this show and things like that. Just I put in a lot of it's kind of my just data entry video uploady time while I'm watching the wrestling. So I'm heading up there, and it was a pretty tiring day. And at some point, my backpack, my full backpack, slipped off my shoulder, and I'm at the top of the stairs.
Oh no.
And it tumbles over itself to the end. In it is my MacBook Pro.
Oh no.
And I'm like, well, I got damage on this. I pay for my AppleCare every month. It includes an incident like this. I think screen cracks, all that. I'm expecting this thing to be obliterated when I pull it out of my bag. I pulled it out of my bag, and it was just fine. And I've been using it, at least on the side. I used it last night, and I'm going to attribute that partially from being in the backpack, but also I'm going to attribute it partially to this amazing case, which I actually got on recommendation from seeing what Katie uses on hers. So, and this is a 13-inch M1 or M1 Pro MacBook Pro, right? So it's got that plastic cover on it, and it is I'll pull it back over here so I can look up what that was, because I was like, what did I put on this? And this is the second one of these cases that I've gotten, because they'll get worn instead of and then you want to put new stickers on, so you just get another one. It is the Mosiso compatible with MacBook Pro 14-inch. I guess it's a 14-inch. Yada, 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 yada case over on Amazon. So if you don't, and this is it's not expensive. This is a $20 case that's on here, right? And it's held up pretty well. I am getting it's kind of like falling off every once in a while, and I have to definitely replace the keyboard plastic, because it gets kind of stretched down and weird after a while. So no, this $20 piece has saved my MacBook. And it is kind of funny because between this and you've seen what's happened to my screen on my phone several times as we go on the Baja events. Do you want to tell them what happened to me the last time?
Oh gosh, what did happen to you last time?
When I was like, oh, I wonder if this will fit in this holder with a battery on it, and it fell directly on the rocks and sand in California, like the first day of the event, and I was like, well, I shouldn't replace this because I got 3 more days of this event that I'll probably do worse to it, right?
Yep.
I think I finally took it off before we went to Disneyland.
That's right.
But yeah. But seriously, like those, and I still have them, and I let my wife put them on because she's like she worked for Batteries Plus with her mother for a little bit, so she's an expert at putting those on and getting the bubbles out. I can't do that very well, so I put her on that. But I've been paying for AppleCare like the monthly for like going on 3 years now, and have not had to take these in yet. But yeah,
knock on wood,
knock on particle wood. Thank you, IKEA. But every time I have an incident, this thing breaks, and I just go get a $10, and you actually get 2 screens for $10. We get whatever on Amazon. I should pretty much put them on subscription at this point every 6 months. And you just you're good. And then underneath, I don't even know if it matters anymore, but you have a pristine 2-year-old phone. I don't even trade these things in or pass them off. I keep forgetting my phone's blue, for instance. But down the line, it'll be a good phone to have around for things like we still have obviously our old we have iPhone 8 and X's here that we use for some mobile stuff. If you ever see Dungeons and Dragons, we use it for the camera on the board and things like that. So definitely if you're ever it feels kind of crazy at this point to me, Katie, to have a laptop or a phone and not have a case on it. Especially if you're somebody that throws in a book bag. Although I do think I'm notoriously what are you laughing at? I think I am notoriously kind of rough with my stuff, but I think it's just because I use it a lot. So either way, it's like kind of listen, everybody look at yourselves inside and look at the electronics around you. Yeah, see, Katie, you're observing, you're looking at your stuff. You're like, just recognize the situation. There's a mindfulness moment in tech. Is all your stuff falling apart? The problem is you. Yes, but there's something you can do about it. And it's a $20 piece of plastic you can get off of Amazon. Recommend it. And pay for that AppleCare too. So that is my awesome thing, that my MacBook still works, is fine, and also probably great that there's probably no moving parts in these MacBook Pros anymore because it's all just solid state or whatever. But yeah, so that's kind of my thing. What is the worst thing you've done to your laptop, and it has survived?
With the current laptop or the previous laptop? Because
remember
the white laptop was held together with duct tape at one point.
Yes.
Because I dented the actual corners and the plastic had broken off, and so it was covered in duct tape. And the edges had broken off, and it kept hurting my hands, so it was covered in duct tape.
That was just like a weird masochistic thing you just did for a while. It's like Katie, you've had this laptop for like 8 years. I didn't your mother finally like break down and say you're getting a new laptop. Stop hurting yourself. Stop looking like a depressed teenager from the marks on your wrist from using this laptop. Okay. So.
Did you see we got a run-in?
Do we have a run-in? No, I didn't have the secondary zoom in. Who's in? Who is a run-in? Who's in here?
I'm a running in.
Hey!
Hey!
Dave Potter is here. Hello.
Hello.
What's the worst thing that you've done to a laptop or phone? We know that
to a phone? Oh, that's easy.
I just put it all out there.
Okay. 2 things. One was it was a phone that was the back glass was already cracked. It was an iPhone 4S. And I took it out of my pocket, and it slipped down in my hand because I didn't use a case. And it skittered across the concrete parking lot. Kind of. And the front glass was completely destroyed. It didn't come off. I used it. I put a plastic protector on so I wouldn't cut my fingers, sounding like someone else who's also on the call. And the second thing, which luckily didn't cause any issue, this was during the frigid 5-miler, and going down a hill. I was running. I'm like, oh, that's a great shot. I didn't want to stop to take the picture, so I just took the phone out of my pocket while running. In mid 20-degree weather to get a picture, and it slipped and went straight down on the concrete. So I had to kind of stop, turn around, run back, get it, check, make sure nothing broke, and then continue running.
I feel like I don't get upset anymore when something like devastating has happened. Like, I don't know if you caught the explanation, Dave, that I had an entire backpack slip off my back and tumbled down the stairs, an entire flight of stairs last night with the MacBook in it and God knows what else. Like, I know there's an iPad, my iPad Pro's in it, which is, pretty aged. It's the original iPad Pro. I don't freak out anymore. It just, I kind of just take a deep breath. Here we go. Because it feels like it's happened enough time. You don't get like excitable about it, right? You're annoyed more than anything, right? Well, I mean, Katie, you could probably attest to that. You've done a lot of things to your phone and stuff. We both had poopy. We both had poopy phones
You've
at some
done
point.
things to your phone.
I've had poop phone, mud phone.
I'll say this: it's a little different now than it was years ago.
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
Fixing it is so much easier. That's one of the reasons I just got home a few minutes ago. Was my lightning port in my iPhone 13 Pro Max, which is almost 3 years old, wasn't working, and I was only charged. The only way I could charge it is the wireless charging, and that meant my CarPlay also didn't work because that's wired. So I made an appointment at the Apple store. They ran a couple tests on it. Yeah. They said, well, the first test worked. The second one didn't. So we're just going to give you a new phone. Since you have the AppleCare Plus.
Yeah, I want to reminisce. I think I'm out of. I'll tell you what I'm going to do on Patreon. I'm going to reminisce about I'm sure I talked about this on the show back in the day, but I'm going to reminisce about that one time that Apple fixed a phone they probably shouldn't have. A few years ago, I think it's a 6S it was at the time. We'll save that for Patreon. But anyways, easy case, definitely do that.
But like even with Macs now, since everything's connected up with iCloud, worst case scenario, of course, is things break, they don't work anymore. But then you have an easy backup. We're not talking about, my computer died.
Yeah, I'm not.
And I have backup. And by the way, now I have to reinstall the software off of either, 4 CD-ROMs or, as I remember from years ago, 13 3.5-inch floppies.
I remember. I forgot who was talking about having the Final Cut Studio. That it was all separate programs like Motion and Final Cut and Soundtrack Pro and all that, and how many DVDs that took. And it was like, well, there's your afternoon if you got to recover this computer. No, last time my MacBook Pro died on me, other than shit, I need another one. It was like I'm not worried about the data on it. It's like almost nothing is not on the cloud at this point. If my entire desk caught on fire in the back, knocking on wood, it's going to be expensive to get it all off Blackblaze because I have something like 80 terabytes up there, but it's there, right? So, like, hypothetically, hopefully there's an insurance claim and I can go get that taken care of if something terrible had happened like that. And I'd be like, God, for as much as I'm paying for insurance right now, Jesus. So somebody missed an audit. But yeah, anyways, so there's that. Anyways, let's get back around to it. Katie, what's your awesome thing of the week?
Listen.
Things that we are not trying not to break.
Yeah, things we're trying not to break. I use my AirPods all the time, and I'm getting tired of using them all the time when I don't need them to be AirPods. And so I ordered I went on the internet and I went on Amazon and I ordered myself these Anker Soundcore. I'll put them over top. Look how nice that is. Headphones, and they are noise canceling as much as ours are noise canceling. So they're not like 100% like some of the other like actual over the ear headphones that like have more of the protection in there. But yeah, so they have the noise canceling. They're like 40-hour wireless play, foldable. You can hook it up with auxiliary. It's got nice bass. So I bought this, and it's hilarious right now because I pulled it up and I paid more money than it is on sale for right now because it's like $40-some. Because I didn't want to buy a super expensive pair because this is just like lounging around the house or just like, I don't know, whatever, maybe probably on the plane, because I lose my ear a lot.
You need some good leave me the hell alone, because I don't know if anybody knows this. Everybody wants to talk to Katie on the they're rubbing against your AirPods because that's where your microphone is. I was like, what the hell happened? Everyone wants to talk to Katie on the plane because she's so friendly. So you just need to get the F away from me headphones really bad.
Seriously, so you're gonna notice these, but they fold down real nice too, and you could buy a case on Amazon, like a harder case, but they come with a bag. But so yeah, I was using them last night, and I was just kind of just cycling through things. Like I put on a movie, and then I put on a TV show, and then I put on some music, and like yeah, the sound is phenomenal considering how much I paid for them. Because I think I paid $54, but they're on sale right now for $43. So it's a lightning deal.
Yeah, I think it's a Prime Day or something today, so.
So mad. I wonder if I could just order another pair and then return the first.
There you go.
Hey.
Get your $20 back.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, I really like these. They've been comfortable so far. Like I was just kind of hanging out in them. I haven't done it too much with them, but like I said, the sound is as good as I was hoping it would be, and the noise cancellation is pretty much on par with what we're playing with or getting with our AirPods. Max or whatever they're called. Pro, that's the word I wanted. Where you kind of like, it's not really the sound, like it's not completely, but like the edge of sound is happening depending on what kind of noises are around you. But mostly it's cut out. So I was like, these are nice. I'm excited about these. So that's my new headphones that I like. And Anker is, a brand we use a lot of. I probably could just look around and be like, what are my other Anker products? So I'm comfortable with going with Anker.
I love this because I keep getting the TikToks. It was like, people that bought this when it was this Anker device when it was on sale are going to be so pissed off. And that's you right now.
And it's less than the cost of a pizza. That's always what it is. Every time. Because now it's less than the cost of a pizza. And I'm like, what kind of pizza are you getting?
Yeah, this is at least 2 pizzas, but still. But yeah, I see the one for like, it looks like it's a charger and a stand kind of thing that they were using on the airplane. But but it's the Soundcore Anker Life Q20 Hybrid Active Noise Canceling Headphones. Now I'm looking for, Katie. You know the environments that I'm usually doing, like sound mixing in live, with one headphone thing. But still, like you've been to some of the shows with me where it's just like I literally don't know if this audio is okay right now because it's so freaking loud in here. Do you think? And you've witnessed that. Do you think? I'm looking for something that's a decent noise canceling over the ear headphone that I can potentially do some okay audio work, to at least make it a little bit better, so I know what's going on, I guess, with all the noise and the crowd and the DJ and all that kind of stuff. Do you think this would work for that? You said this will connect physically, right? No, it's not just Bluetooth.
Yes, you can do Bluetooth. You can actually, you can hook it up to your camera because there is an audio.
There you go.
There's a little charging guy hole, and then it's a mini. What are those called? The doodads. And then there's the audio.
The USB mini.
No, the mini micro. The thing that
micro USB.
Everything else. No, it's the one with the UE shape or the. Do you like this? I'm just gonna put it in your face.
USB-C.
Until you figure it. No, it's the one that's kind of that shit.
Oh, HDMI?
No.
Well, look, that seriously looks like an HDMI.
It has that squared off. It has that squared off look to
yes,
it.
It's like but it's the small one. So it's the micro, whatever they call it. I'm totally drawing a blank of what it is. please send an email to AwesomeCast.
Use that hashtag AC691. We're also gonna ask you, what's your primary social media today? Because I've been thinking about Snapchat today for some reason, and I haven't had it on my phone for a while. Who uses it? That
Tiny
thingy.
guy, tiny.
Oh yeah,
Tiny
yeah,
guy.
yeah, tiny.
Tiny guy.
I think that's a micro or mini USB. I think, maybe.
I can't remember. I know what it's called, and it's killing me. I'm going to look it up.
Somebody at home screaming. It's like, oh, what's
I
one
know.
of these?
Why do they have a show? They should just get out
Why
of
are these
here.
so-called tech experts? Yeah. So, already had my.
I'm just going to yell it at you to do the rest of the show.
Dave Potter, do you have an awesome thing of the week?
Well, besides AppleCare, which is really awesome.
It is awesome. Thankfully I haven't used it because I buy $10 pieces of plastic that save my devices.
Well, yeah, but even that would not help with the with the charging port, unfortunately. So basically, I got a new phone, and the cost of a new, and this is the 13 Pro Max. I still made out with the $10 a month I pay for AppleCare Plus.
Sure,
but first of all, I'll let you know how happy I am when it actually sees my watch. It hasn't seen my watch as having pairing issues, mainly because it shows how much it takes to back up. Oh, I'm down to 33 gigs now. That originally it was like 88 gigs of space, 88 gigs it needed to download it. So, and this is something we all love, backing up in the cloud. We all love backing up in the cloud. I am up to downloading 15,000 photos, and I have 23,000 left to do. But I'll say one thing that's awesome is that I did get a new work computer this past week. The old one was ancient, as the IT guy said. This thing's ancient. Your monitor's ancient. And he was like, do you want a webcam? I'm like, well, yeah, that'd be useful to have a webcam instead of having to use the built-in one. That way I don't have to have the laptop open when I'm doing presentations, because part of my work is running training online. So right now I'm using the Logitech. Let me get it here. Logitech C270 HD webcam. Now I don't want to say only because I didn't have to go through a whole rigmarole to actually get it. I just sent a note down to the IT guy who was installing my computer and said, hey, can I have this? And they were like, yeah, no problem. Here it is.
Okay.
Now, it's on Amazon for $24. So that one's $720. It's plug and play. It's USB. Uses the A port. So it's the big plug. But honestly, it just kind of goes over the monitor, and the back there, I don't know if you can pull that up again, but the back kind of just folds up against the monitor, so it just kind of lightly clips against the monitor. So you can see like the back part there kind of goes behind the screen. So it just kind of clips on, so you don't have to have a special size monitor, and you can move it easily. Yeah, you can see it just kind of goes over the monitor and the back clips on it. It can move up and down, so it does have a tilt on it. I mean, I'm not as fancy smancy as Chilla's, where it's a automatic zoom and AI regarded thing, but for $23, I know it's pretty decent. And they do have at least I'm seeing on Amazon, they do have a 1080p version. Yes, and that with a mic, with the privacy shutter. Now this doesn't have a privacy shutter, but yeah, there's that one. That's for $40. So, if you just want a little bit of an update, it's a good brand. It isn't an off brand. It was incredibly easy to, literally plug it in and it just noticed it automatically. It didn't have to do anything. It seems like it's much more zoomed in than it was before. Cat tax. Oh, okay. You don't want up? You want over there? Okay. But it does a pretty good job. It's better than the built-in webcam. So just how well it worked, I'm really happy with it.
So I believe these are the same ones I've seen for years, the 270s. We've had multiple of them. I think this is what we contribute a lot of them that back when River's Edge was a thing and you're looking for webcams. They say they're 720, so if you don't need something high end but just need something for Zoom, it'll up your game a little bit. Usually better if you have a general and again, newer laptops may be a little better, but if you have a general, especially a business, the company gave you a laptop, you probably have a crappy webcam, because it's probably a ThinkPad or something, right, or a ThinkBook.
Yeah. Or in my case, I have a Latitude.
Right. So I'm just saying
Yeah,
hypothetically
I know what you're
for
saying.
most.
Yeah, not great.
So if you're just like, you want something, and this is a nice thing, don't buy the one from Walmart, because we grabbed one real quick because we needed one for a call-in at a conference, because we left our good one behind, and was like, well, this is the best we can do. It was complete trash. The Walmart on-brand one was complete trash, roughly the same price. So definitely the Logitechs are decent. Now, what I will recommend, this is if you're like, I need a good webcam at home. I don't know about that $40 one, but the Logitech 910 920s, is it? 920s. I got one of these. This is what I do my calls on. Right now they have, and I think they've changed them over the years. This is a $70 one. This is what I have. It was like the 900 series, the C900 series. This is my go-to for people that need really decent quality for their podcast, video podcast, something like that, without breaking the bank. It's the Logitech C920X. Is the current one. It's 1080p, 30 frames per second, full HD, clear stereo audio. So like this one really ups your quality beyond even what you're doing there, Dave, which is just fine. Now it's not the big 4K holy crap thing, AI thing that Chilla uses, but that gets funneled through Zoom, so it's going to be 720 anyways. But still, this is like, oh no, my headphones aren't working because the audio's all messed up on this Teams call. Because why are we using Teams? And everybody's been really happy with the sound quality when I pull this thing up too. So whenever I have to do my business call, so I highly recommend, if you really want to. There's a really good conversation on office hours about, like, especially if you're doing video, or just generally if you're doing meetings and want to be taken seriously, to invest in how you look on the camera. Right? Like Katie just like wears a shirt that has a knife on it. That's really kind of setting an impression today, right, Katie? Oh, she's not there for response.
I said knife stab.
Yeah, knife stab. Yeah, there you go. Like you're setting a tone. But generally, like, you're looking your camera and your audio, that makes you seem like the most important person in the call. And that helps elevate, hopefully your status, especially if you're dealing with a client or something like that. So, not necessarily how you dress, but generally how you look, through the camera. Right. So that's a big, if you're especially at work for a home, and especially if you have clientele, like that's a pretty good call for that. But no, start with the Logitechs. I really, really, if you just need something to plug and play, all these are really good plug and plays for Mac or PC. So. And I have a Mac Mini, so I needed something. So, or if you got a Mac, and I don't know how easy it is because it keeps popping up by accident. The iPhone, I forget what they call it, where it pops up as a camera.
Oh, continuity camera,
which also scares me because it's wireless, and I don't want to have to depend on wireless. I get real itchy when something, it's wireless and it's a really important thing we're doing. I don't know about that. Let's move on from that idea, huh? So anyways, either way, so those have been our awesome things that we'll have those linked over there. And again, those are all Amazon links. If you want to support the show, we do try to put the affiliate links in there. And that does, hopefully kick a few shekels our way if you do want to pick up a couple things like your webcams, headphones, or your MacBook protector over there. So as long as you click through those links, and you don't even have to buy the same thing, and it kicks a little bit, and it's nothing extra off of you. So another way you can support the show is over on Patreon, patreon.com/AwesomeCast. We got it working this week. If you are with us live on Tuesdays and on Patreon, you can get a live feed early. You will send out the message. We send out the bat signal, the awesome signal to you. And before we go on, while people are hopping on the call and everything, and we're talking a little bit, you know, we talked about Katie's knife. Protect knife shirt earlier, and whatever else might come on. Plus, live with our Patreon recording, what we might be talking about there today. And what did I say? I was going to talk about the iPhone thing, right? So yes, drop. I'm going to make a note for myself for Patreon, so I don't forget about it later. I'm getting so much better with this doc situation over here. But you guys can support the show, and like our good friends do that already do. So a shout out to our Patreon supporters at the Coffee Club level, Cynthia Klosky and Matt Weller. And at the Fan Show level, Michael Fedor, John DeGore, and Dave Potter, spouse of Rooster Early Affair at roosterlyaffair.com. All supporting the show, and we do appreciate them for that. Thank you guys so much for doing that. I do have a chat room, too. So if you are in there, I don't know who's in there until you guys say something. So, I mean, there's only like 5 or 6 of you that can do that. But I'd be really curious who is tuning in when we do the live on the special feed. So as we kind of build that up and get people used to that happening. So thank you everybody that does support the show over there. Last week we talked about my run-in with SpaceX and social media and my embarrassing time there. And I have not. You know what's even scarier, Katie? I have not seen any Teslas in the last week. But Chachi said he saw his first Cybertruck, so I don't know. I don't know what this means. Is it scary when they all go away or not? Oh, and my mother is in the chat room over on Facebook. So everybody say hi, Mom.
Hi, Mama Sorg.
So, let's get into the rest of our discussion here. Katie, you teased it at the top of the show. What the hell is going on with Godzilla? You should have a Godzilla corner every week on the show.
I like that. Yeah. So we're getting Godzilla variants in the Marvel world, and check out the links. You have to pull these up because they're pretty incredible. But Marvel Comics will be releasing Godzilla variant covers across 21 different issues this September. They're reprinting the 70s Godzilla comic series, and to celebrate existing collaboration with Toho International, they're going to be bringing Marvel Comics will be producing brand new Godzilla variant covers on select issues.
That's amazing. These look very, very cool. It's basically Godzilla versus a lot of the Marvel characters. I saw some Spider-Man, Thor, Scarlet Witch. Is that the Dazzler versus Godzilla?
That's what it looks like.
I am down for this. Yes. That is so cool. And here's the there's a Venom Godzilla.
Yes. I love that.
I love this. Is all
right.
This is all courtesy of the Kaiju news outlet on Instagram, which I'm sure is at the top of Katie's list on Instagram.
Oh, 100%. I always get updates. I'm like, what's happening now with Godzilla?
Yes. Yeah. So that's cool. Do you have any like Godzilla comics? Like, I felt like there was a couple. I know you brought them up on the show.
No, I do not have Godzilla comics. I have my Grimlock that you got me, but I do not have Godzilla ones. And now I want all of these and just to frame them and put them everywhere because I love these.
There's literally,
especially the Venom.
There is literally a Godzilla figure in your background right now.
Oh, yeah. It's funny because I've been on calls and I didn't realize it, like my grown-up job where I wear the knife shirt anyways. But like they were wondering what the pop was, and I was like, "Oh, it's Godzilla," because one of the folks had Godzilla in the background. I'm like, "I have Godzilla," and so they were like, "Oh, we were wondering what that pop was." I was like, "Yeah, it's Godzilla."
Nice,
just chills on my desk.
It's hiding behind the AwesomeCast logo, so I want to make sure I got to pull it out. So that's awesome. So these are going to be so they're just variant covers on regular books, or
I'm not sure.
Like New Year.
So it's coming out. We're going to see it in September.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for those newsstands. I love this. Like, by the way, Godzilla -1, I think dropped on Netflix. I saw it in the thing. I think it also may have an English dub to it. So if anybody's interested in checking that out, maybe was a little, I know not everybody is up for the whole like reading subtitles thing. Like we went to the theater and saw it, so it was amazing. I hope they put the black and white one on that they did for like kind of the re-release. Because that was really cool. So, and I don't know if there's maybe a Blu-ray release or something that has all the variant versions of it or something. That'd be really cool. So we'll have to look for that too. But I love that we have like several running versions of Godzilla now between this and the Legendary Universe pro wrestling match that was that last movie, which was freaking amazing with Godzilla or with King Kong and everything like that. So though I love everything they're doing with this right now. Yet still, I want to watch the '90s one with Matthew Broderick a little bit, right? I mean, it wasn't that bad, right? Like, it was great for the time.
I don't even. I've never gone back after I watched it.
I'm kind of afraid too, right?
As we find out, a lot of things don't hold up as well. If you
Oh, I'm sure there's a ton that doesn't hold up, but it was amazing for the time. We never had like a big CG monster movie like that, right? That was kind of like the first big one. I got to watching. We had what was it? Episode 2 and 3 back to back on TNT was playing it in the hotel room a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Some of those graphics do not hold up at all. It is
like,
very, very tough. They were ahead of the curve there. So here's one that I'm excited about. This actually triggered me. I'm finally updating my main desk computer to the latest OS. I never upgrade. I'm so lagging because I'm so afraid of it, especially going into the big season. I'm so afraid of like my Final Cut not working for the season and bogging me down. So I finally hit upgrade before I started the show on the Mac Mini in the back. And the reason is this app did not seem to work on last year's Mac OS. But I'm excited to see that there's and I feel like there's a version of this. I can't remember if I talked about it on the show. But there was a ChatGPT integration in Mac, but it involved you going into like terminal and setting some stuff up to be able to call a screen up and be able to do it, and API keys and all this stuff that I'm just like, that's too much to deal with. But ChatGPT, OpenAI, has released an official desktop app now. They've had a mobile app for Google and the App Store for a while, but they have a desktop app for the Mac. And if I do this right, if you hit option space, now you can have your ChatGPT give me hashtags for AwesomeCast. Hold on. Podcast talking about Godzilla and the Marvel Universe comic books. Boom. And it's going to pop up the app. I got ChatGPT 4.0. And there's all my hashtags. Boom. Or whatever else. I'm usually doing social media work on mine. So, but yeah, so it's really cool that it integrates like that. I haven't dug in too much to see how it looks with all like the GPTs and everything like that. It does, I guess you can get there's all my history on the left there for the ChatGPT and everything like that, so I can go back through the things that I've been talking about. It's just like I randomly asked it, when did I've been watching Kim's Convenience on Netflix, and I asked them when it ended and stuff like that, if it's still an ongoing show and stuff, and it gave me some information for that. So I don't know, maybe I'm going to start using it more as a search now that's more integrated in something like this. But I think that's a really cool feature for them to add on. Of course, I think this is mostly if you are. I don't know if this requires you to be a paid user in order to use this. So I'd be curious if you can do this if you're a free user. So definitely recommended. Integrates a little bit more because of course we need our ChatGPT to be integrated just a little bit more, right? So, but also the other thing I discovered was a couple weeks ago they had some outages with ChatGPT. I couldn't get into the website to use it, but the app on my phone would work. So I was doing my cleanup work on the phone and had to copy and paste it over to the desktop. Thank you, Mac connectivity. So that really kind of did help out with that. So check it out. Look on OpenAI's website. Look for the apps, and you'll be able to download this. And of course, on your mobile device, you can find it in the app stores too. So. But yeah, I don't know. Katie, do you see this? I know you're a ChatGPT user, but is the desktop integration? Do you feel like it's going to help your workflow a little bit?
Oh, I like it. I like how it just kind of like it's not so much like clunky of having to go.
Yeah, it's so minuscule. I keep forgetting it's a ChatGPT window. Like it's just a little thing there with the little clipboard. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, I can attach something right here too. If I want to upload a file, a photo, take a screenshot. Oh, wow. You can just take a screenshot, stick it in there, give it a permission. Okay. Oh wait, I gotta go do a thing. I gotta go into the permissions to give it all that kind of stuff. But you could
Oh
just
yeah.
you could just say, tell me what's going on my screen right now, or something like that. Like that's crazy. That is crazy. What else is it doing here? Open app, take a photo, take
Now, does it do that on the mobile or no?
what, the screenshot stuff? Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Let me pull that up here and give you the ChatGPT app. Let's all discover this together. Let's see. ChatGPT, we're going to load this up, checking the system health. You do have like the photo, you have the I can pull up a photo like out of my stuff, stick this in there, boom, and say, and then ask, what am I looking at in this photo? Do the voice thing, take that, send it in, and there you go. So but you're asking about the screen kind of thing, and maybe it doesn't work.
Well, I just asked it, can you view the screen? And it said, yes, I can view images or screenshots you share with me.
So I think that's the difference. When you're doing it on the Mac, it's just this little thing in the middle of the screen, right?
Right.
And then
right.
it's not taking over the screen for you to. But nothing stops you from taking a screenshot like so, heading over to this because it's just not that windowed interface, and I can ask, who's in the chat room right now? Boom. Send it in. It's going to read the screen. It's going to tell me. You even saw that I had a Kaiju Big Battle shirt and said that, hi, Mom is here, everyone. And it gave the name of my mom and Potter from being in there because it had things from when you popped it and everything. I mean, it read the screen and basically just told me what was on the screen, right? So, like, that obviously if you're doing something like, hey, what is this? Translate this, or what setting should I pick to get this to happen, or something like that. Obviously, it should take a look at that and be able to interpret that and connect with that somehow, right? So, but yeah, so that's really cool that you get to do that kind of situation. So
I'm also wondering how much Apple, when they bring out Apple Intelligence. Because that's one of the things you'll be able to use Apple Intelligence to basically say, what's on my screen or something similar on the Mac. So I kind of wonder, do they the chat? I mean, obviously you don't need the high end M processors to do that for ChatGPT, the app. So I'm kind of curious to see if Apple will match it or will expand it on it further, because they'll have, of course, more permissions,
more system integration. Yeah, and I'm curious what that is. Do we see something like that? Is their own thing? Is their own thing going to be doing some version of like Microsoft just had that rewind feature that's freaked everybody out for their own AI stuff that they've been looking to launch here this week and got pushed back. So there's plenty of discussions elsewhere on other podcasts about that situation. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be the general AI. It's going to push it. I'm hoping when it pushes to OpenAI ChatGPT through the new version through Apple Intelligence, I'm hoping it's not as ham-fisted as, here, let me Bing that for you, like it does now.
No,
I'm worried about
really
that connection, but I'm hoping it'll be a little more integrated.
Yep.
So, all right, what else do we want to talk about on this list? Tell me about butt cracks.
I knew you were going to go there. So, I edit photos. So when we go to these events, these SAE events, we get pictures of students working on vehicles, and then occasionally you get the butt crack. You get this. I had this great photo team, and then guys bent over, and I'm like, butt crack, and I'm like, poop, can't use this shirt, can't use this photo. So I used Lightroom, and because it started to integrate more AI into Lightroom, which is super exciting for me. I was able to just instead of remove it, I just went I'm just going to cover over the butt crack and see if it could add something to cover it. The shirt got longer and covered the butt crack. I was so impressed. I couldn't even tell you. It was just burp, It was so seamless. It's just like it looks like your shirt's longer, and I was like, that's incredible. And then, like, another thing that I was pretty darn impressed with was, do you remember how we were at Formula and how shiny those trophies are? Like, they are so incredibly, like, chrome shiny that when I took the photos, I didn't realize till later that my bright orange shirt was reflected in the trophies. So, like, you would have an orange stripe, orange stripe, orange stripe. So I just highlighted all those orange parts in the trophy, and they're gone. It's just a shiny chrome-looking trophy without any orange spots. So
awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this so far because I really haven't had a chance to really play with it. I tried removing porta potties. That didn't work. It just gave me better-looking porta potties, which was just odd. Same with boxes, because there were boxes under the table, and I'm like, I wonder if I get rid of the boxes. And it was like, here's a different box. I'm like, that's not what I meant. I want it to go away, not be different or prettier porta potty. But yeah, I was pretty impressed with the shirt lengthening and the orange shiny, or the orange going away in the shiny.
I was thinking of you today or yesterday when I don't know if you saw that one article about like the wrestler we will not name on this show, talking to the news reporter, and there was like some kind of taco fest or something like that in Detroit, and I love the first shot was like a porta potty square over her shoulder. And I was just thinking about all the stuff we do at Baja and Formula and how it's in every damn shot, right? Like I was editing the Volvo interviews we did in front of that truck in Williamsport, and I'm just like, I kept moving the angle so it just looked a little bit different, and I realized there's a group of people, an entire row of porta potties in the corner this entire time, and I don't think I can crop this out. And the more I think about this, and the more you're telling me about this, and the more that I'm using Photoshop for things in a similar vein, I want this in Final Cut. Like, I want Apple to step up and say, and Apple Intelligence is coming to Final Cut. Because I feel like we had a thing where we did some interviews in a workshop, and it came out back from review, and like, can you do anything about what sounds like a wrench hit in the background? It sounds like birds chirping. And I've gone into Final Cut and I've pulled all the levers on the sound compression and all, sound noise reduction and all those kinds of things, because it's a very loud room. And that usually does very, very well between, we were not using the microphones we usually do. The ones that were like right beside the ones when we're in the field, we were using these lapel mics because we were doing these follow things. I took the audio and went to Adobe AI, which is intended for podcasts, stripped all the background audio. I almost think too much, because they're like, you're in a room, I want to hear a little bit of atmosphere. It took everything away. It was tremendous, to the point where I'm like, great, am I going to have to keep outputting audio and stick it through this thing? It's going to remind me of those old days when I had to go into Final Cut, send the audio out to Soundtrack Pro or Adobe Audition if I was using Premiere before that, and then round trip it back into the video, but I don't have a direct connection. So that's where I'm kind of trying to reconcile, how do I work this into a video flow situation, right? And that's next. Like, it's like, this is Lightroom and Photoshop's day, right? You'd say, like, this is like, that's a more difficult thing to try to solve in video, obviously, but man, we're getting there. You're seeing the samples come out and everything like that from like Sora, and Adobe's got their own thing going on for video. It's not going to be long. I actually just downgraded my Adobe because I realized we weren't using half the apps for the $60 version, so we bumped down to that Photoshop. And I told Missy, I'm like, if you got to use Illustrator, bump it up for the month, but let's bump it back down. You know what I mean? Let's use it as we use it. But like, it's got that Adobe Rush that she uses for social media, and it's got the Lightroom, Photoshop, and all the bells and whistles. I still use Adobe Express, which is basically like, how you're using Canva and stuff like that. But I just started thinking, I was like, we're paying for Canva, and she's doing like all the cool stuff over there. Like, Photoshop is kind of a legacy thing for me, plus the AI, but, I kind of like having all the extra tools. It makes a lot of sense. But we'll see what's happening, because Adobe's in trouble. Brian Crawford shared an article reminding us that the DOJ, I think it is, the U.S., is suing Photoshop for unfair practices. Hey, did you know when you signed? See, I've been signed up for so long. This hasn't been an issue, but I do the. I knew something was up when it does the. Oh, we'll give it to you for this much for a few months if you try to cancel. And I'm like, Adobe, why are you acting like my old cable company? And turns out they were doing more than that, to the point where it did make it very, very difficult to cancel, make you to run around, keep you on the phone, all that kind of stuff, trying to give you offers. And on top of the fact that if you do sign up for just that $20 plan with Photoshop, is not obviously disclosed that if you cancel it after 2 months, they're going to put you up for a very, very stiff cancellation fee. Because it's saying you're not signing up for a monthly, you're signing up for what is a $120 or $200 plan that you're paying $20 a month for, right? You signed up for a year plan, but you're getting charged monthly for it. Is how they've been doing it. It's like, hey, you signed up for Comcast, we're going to give you $50 a month, but you can't cancel us within a year. So, to which I fought them because I was like, your stuff doesn't work for my business. So so that kind of thing. So good. I'm happy that they're taking Adobe to task. I was hoping something like this. I think the lock-in is maybe worse because there are things like Canva and what was it, Figment, that they were going to buy that didn't. There's real competition, and we've talked about in the previous weeks. I know Katie, you and Missy here at Sidekick are very big in using Canva. It feels like it does about 80% of what you would want to do with something like an Adobe suite and stuff like that. So it's not that Adobe's no stranger for weird practices of like, hey, here's your $700 Photoshop back in the day, right? But yeah, they've really kind of cornered themselves on that. I don't know, Katie, are you're an Adobe user? We just talked about great stuff happening with Lightroom, obviously, but I don't know if you've run into that with the subscription plans.
No, I went back to doing monthly, just because off season I don't need to use it. I have like the photographer level, so it's just like Photoshop and Lightroom and then the phone one and all that. But yeah, so I'm just month to month with it because off season and Adobe.
But that is nice when you're able to do that, when you don't get tricked into the year, right? So, it is nice that you can just turn it on when you need it and everything like that. So, but unfortunately, that's not exactly what they've been doing for everybody. So,
and I mean, Adobe's been
good.
As I say, and this is the second thing that Adobe's gotten stepped in recently when they put out their new boilerplate. By the way, that everyone took as we own everything you do. And then everyone panicked about it, and then Adobe had said, "No, that's not what we meant. No."
It is so sad because everybody steps in that pothole. Because everybody needs that stuff in there in order to do everything that the system needs to do by taking your stuff, putting it somewhere else, and transferring it to another computer that you're also logged in. Like that's what that means. But again, it's what is said legally is not intention. Or something like that, and everybody, and there's nobody weathers that storm well and learns from other companies that have stepped in that pothole. Like I've seen that from competitions had boilerplate like just like that about, hey, we own and can distribute worldwide, blah blah blah. I was like, yes, you need that to put the thing on your website for the contest or for this service. There's a version of this in your Dropbox account. There's a version of this in your Drive account, but yeah. And it just, Adobe's trust is not there with the way with AI and everything like that. And that's on them. And that's on them for not communicating that appropriately. So Katie, I think you're about to say something.
Oh, I was going to say, at one point I was tricked into the year.
Oh yeah,
I was doing the year thing, yeah, and I was like, "This isn't what I win." Especially because the level was like, "Here's a super high. You need all this to get this," and it was like, "Do I?" And then they changed things, and it was like, "Nope, month to month photographer package. That's all I want."
There you go.
And by the way, this has happened, not technology related, but subscription related in the past. We're talking decades ago, but in Pennsylvania at least. I remember there was an uproar because there was this large amount of fitness centers that signed people up for a year, you were able to pay for a year's worth instead of month to month. Well, the problem is the fitness thing places shut down, and people are like, okay, I paid, 12 months worth. I only got 2 months out of it. What happened to my money?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, they're out of business. And then eventually they passed a law saying you could only do month by month subscriptions, not basically a month fee on this, and you can't do 12 months at a time. You can't lock people down.
Yeah.
So that has happened before, and I see that, and this is what will really scare Adobe. Further down that Reuters article, their revenue in that quarter is 5.18 billion. 95% of their income is through subscriptions.
Yeah.
So right now they're a subscription company.
What other business do they have? Like, really?
Well, I would say with their AI, they could do tie-ins with other companies,
maybe,
and have them access their AI features behind the scenes. But having it where you're reliant on, now subscriptions are better than someone who buys, like you said, $700 Photoshop every 5 years.
Sure.
But that's an incredible amount of stress for the company.
Yep. Yeah, they're really not diversified. They've really kind of put everything in this, and the lockdown was what was supposed to keep them from this being an issue. But we'll see how we go with that.
And like you said, there's competition too.
Real quick, Dave, I want you to talk about this camera that I put in here from your Facebook, and then Katie, I want you to show us the new Zoom feature that you were showing me before the show. Partner, what is Apple pulling out here?
Sure. Now, at before WWDC, when they announced a new Final Cut Pro, they said, "Oh, by the way, you'll be able to do multi-camera shots using your iPhones as the camera with our new camera." Let me get the Final Cut camera. Now, the camera itself, you can use just as a pro level video camera. Does not take photos.
So
it's only video.
This seems to be their answer to the Black Magic camera that we've been talking about. That brings all of those features to light in the Black Magic format, which is very similar to things like we have Video Assist around here that have the same kind of visual format, so you can get around the same menus. So this is them like opening that up, and you're seeing like you can open up the your lenses and your manual focus and all kinds of doodads that if you're a camera person, you know what's going on there. So that's a nice upgrade. That's a really nice upgrade. Now, do you?
And this is something that I really don't use it that much, because most of the video I do is look at what the cat's doing. So I don't really need the manual control.
No, you're not like me. You're not like me, who recorded an hour and a half video on my phone at an event because I was asked to do it the last minute, and the other camera was occupied with the rest of the event, and tried to pull it, and I realized I have a 35 gigabyte 4K file on my phone. Yeah, glad I got that terabyte, guys. So no, so to do this camera, do I need to pay for the Final Cut subscription? Good.
Nope.
So this is completely independent.
I downloaded it. You can download it. You don't even have to do anything, and you can just use it as if you want it like a video camera with a lot of manual features.
Okay, I like that. I like it.
So now I would love it if they did something similar for pictures. Saying, well, we have the built-in camera app, which 95% of the people, it does everything you need to do. But for the 5% that want to do the extra little special things, like a time lapse that you can actually control a lot more on, or you want to shoot in RAW, not because they have the Apple Pro RAW, but some additional things. But so, and also with that, notice that a lot of the stuff stays on screen, so you don't have to hunt and go into different menus. So. It brings everything to the front, because a lot of this stuff is available if you dig into the settings. And let's see what this does on the iPhone
13 Pro Max while we're here. We're vertical and stuff. Welcome to Final Cut Camera. We're going to give our access to everything. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. And there we are. And yeah, we're using the app. Why is it so small? Why is it so tiny?
That I don't
What's
know.
happening right now? What's happening right now? What is going on?
Oh.
77. Oh, I think it's broken. Hold on, let's see what happens here. Oh, it's just me. Oh no, why am I in Poach's stamp? What is happening? All right, we'll see what's going on with my features here. Maybe it just doesn't like it because I have an old phone. But anyways, wait, was that even, did I even have that up? There we go. I might have forgot to switch to it. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there with this situation. So
That I don't know either. And honestly, I did download it. I have the 13 Pro Max. So, and it worked pretty good. Right now, I'm just waiting. It's one of the things I'm still waiting for it to download as part of my backup. Because I still have like 26 gigs left of data I'm waiting for it to download. So my phone's not 100% working still.
Well, on that note, we'll play with that. But Katie, there's Zoom has a new feature which seems very familiar because you asked me this, and I'm like, I'm not on a Mac, but it turns out that they have some new reactions over on Zoom.
Yeah, update your Zoom if you use Zoom for your calls, because certain things, like for example, it doesn't work. You don't have it turned on, but like in a Zoom call yesterday, it was like thumbs up, and I had fireworks behind me, which was pretty darn cool. And then no one else could do it but me. I don't know why. I think it's just because I was the one who updated. But yeah, you can react, and like there's a little rocket ship. We got reactions at the bottom. Yeah, wait, here's my favorite. So you can pick any emoji you want, and essentially just it'll rise up, or you can just do, just have it in the corner and do your thing. I'm trying to think what else. What other emojis do I want to do? Cats.
Yep, just you can bring up the cats there.
There you go. Of course, this is on like I don't even know. Hold on a second. Can I do? Hold on. So if I go, let's see. If I go over here. All right. Nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. I'm on you guys. So where we have reactions? Is that it here?
Yeah, react. It's down below. It says react, and then you just select. And you go like ta-da!
Oh. So wait. Oh wait. Well, the problem is like I think I'm sending them to. Am I sending them to you or? Hold on. Where are they happening? Is this me? Is this me doing this?
Nope. You're not doing anything.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Nope.
Oh yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it over there. So, hold on.
But you had it. Go back down there.
What?
Go back down there. Go back down there.
Okay, I'm in there.
Okay.
I'm going to do the hearts.
You just have reactions. You don't have send with effect.
Oh, I think I need to update my
Yeah,
Zoom
come
on
on.
here. Oh, jeez. I messed up. Well,
we're all embarrassed.
Thank you for sure. On that note, guys, thank you so much. Katie Dutters, katiedudas.com.
Yes.
Find out what's going on there. And, of course, Dave Bonner is the poops. All your poop emojis over at katiedudas.com. And then Dave Bonner of the iPhoneography podcast.
Zoom. Yep, and you can find iPhoneography and Prof Prod everywhere else, just kind of zooming away.
Oh no! I hope the wrestling guys don't notice that this is a feature. Oh no! Thank you. I'm at Sorgatron. If you want to see, I got some. We went to Cleveland and Indiana, PA for a lot of wrestling. On the Patreon for Mayhem Show, I'm going to tell you what happens when the sound guy leaves a show before it's over. But it's over on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, though. Patreon here, we're going to talk about iPhone. Getting one over on the AppleCare, I guess, is what ended up happening. No, actually, the AppleCare guy really helped me out, and we'll